Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an experience like no other. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for The Mary D. Show, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary. The Mary D. Show brings you powerful insights and inspiring stories from a diverse range of guests. Join our incredible host, Mary D. Welch, as she sits down with thought leaders, business owners, and changemakers, sharing their journeys and successes. From career professionals and entrepreneurs to educators and beauty advisors, Mary D. Welch interviews sports figures and health enthusiasts, offering a platform for extraordinary voices. Explore the world of extraordinary people and places in business and finance, homes and real estate, beauty and wellness, education and empowerment, sports and health, and more. Want to be a guest on the show? Call 619-669-8603 or email Mary at marydwelch.com. Visit www.marydwelch.com to learn more.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mary D. Show. If you're new, welcome. And if you're a super fan, welcome. Because I have the super fans, I'm always glad to see you anytime you can make it back. I'd like to first thank our executive producer of the show. That is my husband. Hi, babe. He's in the background. That's Oliver. And then I also wanted to thank the live viewers and the replay viewers. Ta-da! Today, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm really excited about, before I get into it, I have to slow myself down. Before I get into today's show, starting January, we're going to move to a new time. Yay! The time is going to be 5:45, and it's going to be at 5:45 Pacific Standard Time. So those of you on the East Coast, it'll be, I think, 8:45. You guys are 3 hours ahead of us. So not too late, hopefully, for you guys. And it's only on Monday, so it's not too bad. It's only, as you know, you can always see the replay. The replay is always available. So if you miss the live, don't worry. You can watch the replay on YouTube, on Facebook. Those are the two platforms I tend to be on. I'm really going to try to really get into Instagram because they're making some changes now. So Instagram is going to be, they're going to do the vertical in Instagram. So there's some changes coming. So the next few months. So I want to tell you, I'm really excited about that. So today's show, now I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, today's show is close to my heart. Let me say that because I learned about a lot of these things that I'm going to share with you when my mother passed. And so here it is. We're in the midst of her passing, and now I'm learning all of this. I didn't know. There's many things I didn't know because I never had I'd never been put in a situation, had never had power of attorney over anyone. I didn't know what that meant, but I'm going to go over some of these things with you. But before I do, I have to say this so everybody's real clear. I am not an attorney. Throughout this entire presentation, you're going to hear me say that. I'm going to tell you why the entire show. Why I say it is because I want to make it real clear that this is not legal advice. This is educational information. Let me say it again. I am not an attorney. Okay, I got to be real clear about that because I don't want anyone to take what I'm saying as the gospel truth or something like that. Everything I'm saying, go to an attorney. If you're in California, and I've shared this with you a few times, I'm gonna share it again because you never know. I've learned that too. You never know who's hearing it for the first time. In the state of California, and I'm pretty sure it's around the country, but don't quote me on that. I don't really know. I just feel. Let me speak from what I know. What I know about California. If you're in California, you live in the state of California. There's 58 counties in California. Every single county has a bar association. Every single bar association has a lawyer referral. Let me say that again. Every single bar association, so that's 58 of them in California, has a lawyer referral service. Many of us don't know about it though. Why is this important? The lawyer referral service is a low cost, and I say low cost. You get 1 hour, 60 minutes with an attorney that specializes in the area that you need. Let me say this again so we're clear about this. You get 1 hour, 60 minutes to speak with an attorney in the area that, let me use an example. You may need someone in real estate law. This is what I do, by the way. Just tell you what I do, because I've used them a few times. I take a notebook. I'll just use this one. It's just, see, I keep notebooks near me, but this is just a notebook that I use, 3-ring binder notebook. And I write all my questions, then I take this with me. Not only do I write the questions, I write the question and I leave space for their answers to the question. I don't just write the question. I write the question and I take it with me. Do not go to an attorney's office and think you're going to remember, because you're not. Let me tell you why this is important. It is very low cost. Now, I don't know what it is today. The last time I used it, I think it was $65, which is equivalent, basically almost $1 a minute. But I'm sitting in front of someone, this is their specialty. And whatever the need is, I have. So I've used them. And I would encourage you to use them. Let me make sure we have any questions. I'm saying that because if you don't use them, then you're really saying to, I'm not saying not to use them or not use them, but I'm saying the service is there. And many times we don't know that the service is there. We just don't know. When I found out about it, I was like, wow, I didn't know this was here. You're like, yep. Every single county in California, you can write your question. Well, no, that's not all you do. First, you call and you ask for the lawyer referral service. Call the Bar Association. You wonder where to call. Let me start with square one. If you need a lawyer in any field, then you call the lawyer referral service. They're going to connect you to a lawyer that has, they are practicing in the field of your specialty. You will get 1 hour with them. Now, if your situation exceeds that and you want to hire them, then you can do that. But if it doesn't, they answer all your questions. I don't know what the cost is today. This has been years since I've used them, so I can only tell you what I've experienced. So what I've experienced was as I said before, it's a very low amount. I want to say $65 is what I believe it was to get all my questions answered, and they gave me all the answers. And at that time, I don't think I hired them or anything. It was just a matter. I just needed some questions answered. And many of you may have friends that are lawyers. I don't know. I just know sometimes I think we just need a neutral person that's not emotionally involved in the situation. That's what I think. So be that as it may. So let me say it again. So those of you, in case I'm going too fast, it's called the Lawyer Referral Service. Lawyer Referral Service. It is available throughout California and all 58 counties. You call your local bar association and let them know that you need to speak to an attorney. You like to go through their lawyer referral service, and how much is it? And they'll tell you. And then they don't make the appointment. They give you the name and the number for the lawyer, whoever that may be, he or she. And then you make an appointment to see them. Nowadays, they do, from what I understand, a lot of it's done by Zoom. So you don't have to even leave your house. You still need your questions written down, though. Don't ever negate that. You want those questions written down. And the reason you want those questions written down, because you're going to forget. It's too emotional, whatever. It doesn't even matter what the situation is. Write them down. And then when they give you an answer, write your answer. Now you have an answer to that question you had. And you no longer have to question, whatever that is. You don't have to worry about that. So that's what I want to share. That's one of the things I'm going to share with you. Okay. Another thing I like to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't talked about this for a while, so I thought I would talk to you about that. And that is um, a couple things. One, so this is what we're going to talk about today, is wills, trust, umbrella insurance, and the transfer on death deeds. Okay, real fun stuff, huh? Oh, I know what I forgot to add on your homeowners. I haven't talked to you guys about this. I don't think I have. And that's the replacement costs on your. If those of you that own your own home, to add replacement. Let me tell you why. Unfortunately, the fires that we just witnessed and went through recently, many of the homeowners had not checked their insurance in years. They didn't know what the insurance even was. Why? And the truth is, why would you? Let me be honest. Why would you look at that? That's not something I even looked at. Once you get insurance on your property, you kind of walk away from just pay the premium, and that's the end of that. You really don't look at it until you need it. That's been my take on it. But we're going to talk about replace. I may start there because this is a biggie, and I have never talked about it, I don't think. Okay, let me start there because that is something I definitely want to go over with you. If you are a homeowner, you have, I'm not saying you have to have it, by the way. You probably have homeowners insurance, meaning that if your home were to catch on fire, if you were to have I want to say a flood, but like this has happened to I personally know 3 people this has happened to, where somehow the toilet got stuck and it overflowed in the home. When they had gone out for the weekend or whatever, and they came back and it was water through the whole house. So now, they could be faced with mold. They're gonna have to cut so much of that drywall. All of these things, it becomes a nightmare. Let me just pure and simple, just a nightmare. So why is that important? Okay, if let's say you've been in your home for 15 years or more or less, doesn't matter, but you've been in your home and you have the original insurance, homeowners insurance, but you do not have replacement costs on your insurance. What that means is if it were to be damaged in a fire or a flood or anything like that, and a flood, we think of a flood of water rushing in, not necessarily. It's not, like I said, it could be an overflowing toilet. It could be another thing. I know someone that happened to them, a pipe burst in their home. And they went on vacation, came back, and it was water through the whole house because a pipe burst. So it just depends. But let's say these things happen. And they do, by the way. And even personally, I've experienced a fire. Went through a fire in our home, went to a Boy Scout meeting, came home and didn't have a home to live in. So I'm a witness. These things happen. That's why we have this insurance, because we hope it doesn't happen, but it does happen. So homeowners insurance is good, but if you don't have replacement costs, and let me tell you how powerful this is. I didn't even know what it was. Some of you may know what it is. I didn't. I never even heard of it until a friend of mine, a very close friend, lost her home in a fire, and we're standing on the sidewalk looking at her home, and it's still smoldering. And she says, "I am so glad I have replacement costs." I said, "What is that?" I remember thinking, "What is that?" I didn't even know. I'd never even heard of it. I never heard the words. I didn't know what it was. She said, "Replacement costs means that my home will be replaced at the present day value, not at when I bought it 15 years ago value." What you're going to say, well, it's already happening with many people that lost their homes in those fires. Their homeowners insurance did not or will not replace it at the present day. They're going to replace it at 20, 30 years ago. So that's not enough for them to rebuild. And so they're like, you know what? I'm just going to sell the land. I'm going to sell the lot and I'm going somewhere else. I'll buy another house or something. I can't tell you what people are doing, but I know they are selling. And on many of the reasons why is because they didn't have replacement costs, and not that they wouldn't have had it. They didn't know about it. The day my girlfriend told me about the replacement cost, I was number one shocked because I never heard of it. I went straight to my office. I didn't even. This is how long ago this was. There were no cell phones. That's how long ago. That's how long ago. Think about that. So there was no way for me to call anywhere. I just had to wait. So I remember thinking, okay, I don't want to forget this. So as soon as I got in the door of my office, I called my insurance agent and I said, add replacement cost to my insurance. And she said, okay. And I said, well, how much is it? She said, replacement cost, Mary, is $58. I said, is that a month? Because I thought that's what it was. She said, no, that's a year. I was sitting there, I said, what? $58 a year? Are you kidding me? And that's like what, $4 or $5 a month. I said, why didn't you add it when I first took out the insurance? And she said, we quote you the lowest premium to get your business. And many of you, if you're, like I said, this is for homeowners. And I'm gonna get to if you're a renter's insurance also. Those are other area I want to talk about because that's important too. Okay. Long story short, as they say, long story long. So the replacement cost, she added it. Now this is April of, I forget the year, but April. She added the insurance. Almost to the day, a year later, my home burned. Almost to the day. Remember, I'm standing at my girlfriend's house, and then a year later, I'm the person that their home has caught on fire. It was unbelievable. I went into shock. Now, it's another thing. I didn't know what shock was until I experienced it. Shock is real. Everything moved in slow motion. The firemen were in slow motion. The cars, everything went to, I didn't know that that's what shock does. It slows you down because you're trying to comprehend what's going on. So here I was watching a fireman come out of one of the windows and I almost lost it. I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I started crying. I started shaking because I could not believe our home was on fire. It's like, what? But what I've learned from that lesson is this: we are all susceptible to everything. There is no, oh, that won't happen to me. That's none of that. We think that. That's what I thought. I used to think, oh, that just happened to my girlfriend. I don't have to worry about that. If you think about it, if I didn't have to worry about it, why did I add replacement costs? I added it. I just could not believe it was only $4. I think it was $4.75 a month. It was so low. It was. She even told me the night of the fire. My agent, actually my real estate agent lived 2 blocks away. She came over. She was all quiet, and she said, "I cannot believe that you called a year ago, and this in your house is caught on fire." I'm over at a neighbor's house now. I'm literally. I was shaking uncontrollably. I couldn't even, it was unimaginable. Because there was no, I mean, the fire had gotten to the attic and gotten to the insulation, and there was no ceiling, there was no nothing up there. Just the whole house, it was bad. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It wasn't pretty. But it is what it is. What they said to me too. They said, bad as this is, all I can tell you, this isn't bad because you are alive. Period. You're alive. Don't even look at anything. You're alive. You're alive. Your children are alive. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry. It's brick and mortar. So here it is. Now to replace that $58 that I paid a year earlier kicks in. They have to replace everything at the cost of the present day cost. And she even said to me, she said, that's why I can't even begin to tell you what that call is going to mean to you, because now everything gets upgraded. You're going to get upgrades basically of your home. And when you're in shock, I hate to say this, you could care less. All you really want to do is go home and go to bed. That's all I want to do. I'm like, I don't care about all this stuff you're talking about. I just want to go in my own house and go to bed. But which I could not do for another 6 months, something like that, at least 6 months. And then during that time, you have what do they call? Oh, I can't think of what the adjusters, insurance adjusters. I'm not gonna say anything negative one way or the other about insurance adjusters. They have their place. They get, I think it's 30%. It may even be 35% of whatever you receive from the insurance company. So, everybody's, I can't say, I don't want to say anything negative one way or the other. So some people use them, some people don't. If you do, you do, you don't, you don't. It's up to you on that. I can't tell you on that because I didn't use them, but I know people who have, and they were happy with the results. So I say, if you want to use an insurance adjuster, use one. If you go through something like that, I hope you never go through anything like that because it is traumatic, and I'm probably still dealing with it. If I be honest, that's how traumatic it is. I see Elaine. Hi, Elaine. Do you remember that, Elaine? When me and the boys went through that. I know. I know. Oh, I didn't call their names, but she knows. She said, yes, thank God. Angel had replacement coverage. I didn't even know what it was, Elaine, until she told me. And I said, I know we both miss Angel and Angelica. You're right about that. I've been talking about it, I don't know, this whole week. They've been on my heart. So, and nice to see you, Elaine. So just know, ladies and gentlemen, this is real stuff here. This is not, I'm not trying to, anything, well, the truth is anything you hear on the show is, as far as the truth that I know it to be. I'm never going to ever lie to you and sit up here and try and make you believe something that's not true. Why would I even do that? But I want you to know things that can help you. If this can help someone, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for that person that's going to be like, what? I need replacement costs on my insurance. That's if one person says that to me, it was worth it. Now, the truth is you may never need it. I thought I would never need it. Think about this. I've thought about this, by the way. Had our house burned first, I didn't have replacement costs. But because my girlfriend's house, and her name is Angel, if her house burned first, and I always say God did it, this is how God worked it out truthfully. Her house burned first. And not only did she say she had replacement costs, I listened and added it. That had it went any other way, I would have been in trouble. Real bad trouble, truthfully. Because they would not have replaced it at the present day. And I don't know what that would have meant. But I know it wouldn't have helped. It would have hurt. And that's because you want everything, nice and upgraded. Who doesn't want that? So that's I want to share that with you. So now we got replacement costs. Oh, I did tell you what it costs. You would add it to your homeowner's insurance. It is a very low cost. This is years ago. So let's say it's $100 a year now. Add it. I don't care what it is. If you own property or you're paying a mortgage, put replacement costs on that insurance. End of story. End of story. Don't even think about it. It's not worth. It's just not. What is $8 a month? You can barely get a hamburger for that now, and don't even mention a cup of coffee. So get it. And I haven't even got into it. I'm gonna do that next. Umbrella insurance. Now, and I'm gonna tell you why I go over these. I had never heard of any of these insurance. Never. That's why I share it with you. Because if I have never heard of it, I know somebody else here has never heard of it. The things I'm talking about now is for homeowners, though. This is not for renters. But every renter knows a homeowner. So if you are a renter, and I was a renter for years. 4 years. So don't ever think, oh, no, you always been a homeowner. Nope. No. I lived in an apartment, paid rent, lived in a house and paid rent until we were able to buy. And I'm going to go over and some people, this is what I think too. I don't think we talk enough about the benefits of homeownership. We talk about it and then people go, oh, I can't afford to do it. Okay. And it may be true, by the way. I do get that because it's not cheap owning. I mean, it's not, but nowadays you can probably pay almost the same amount, whether you own or you rent. The difference is you get a tax benefit when you own you don't really get that tax benefit when you rent. So I digress. We go into umbrella insurance. Now, what is umbrella insurance? It's just, I probably should hold up an umbrella. Do I have an umbrella here? No, not near me. I don't. But anyway, umbrella insurance is an insurance that covers your home, your rental, if you have a rental property or rental properties, your car or cars, plural, more than one car, are covered. Meaning you pay about, well, it depends. If you want $1 million worth of coverage, it can run anywhere from $300 a year to 600 or 700, depending on the company. What is the insurance? The insurance means that, it's glitching. No, oh my goodness. Oh, Oliver, it's glitching. I may have to use your laptop. Oh, sorry about that.
Hello, everybody. I switched to the phone. My apologies. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, oh, I don't know if you can see. Hold on, hold on. Here we come. Here we go. Can you see me? Okay. Then now you get. I will be. The rest of the show will be on my phone. On my phone, I guess. So sorry about that, but you know what? We got to pivot. Got to finish. My apologies, but we gonna. Hold on. Here we go. I think I can. I'm trying to make it bigger, make the screen bigger anyway. And it's not doing it. So, no, I don't know what to say. Okay. Sorry about that, people. But here we go. I was talking about umbrella. Let me see. I was talking about, oh, yeah, umbrella. Umbrella insurance is, in my opinion, is very reasonable. Is I think it is. I sleep better at night because not only is our home covered, our vehicles are covered. That's what I like about it. Let me tell you what umbrella insurance does. Let's say you have insurance, or let's say 350,000. I'm just going to use that arbitrary number on your vehicles. But when you have umbrella, you guys get to see the book, and you get to see all the stuff you don't get to see on the computer. And that's my bookcase right behind me. Umbrella picks up the difference. Let's say you have $1 million under umbrella insurance with the company, and it costs you $580 to get a million. That's about right, actually. So you get $1 million worth of coverage, but you have 350,000 already, and you're on your um, home. It can be your homeowner's insurance. So if somebody, and we pray these things don't happen, but let me just tell you, everything I'm saying has already happened to someone. Someone walked into their home and they slipped and fell. They don't sue, and I know people think, oh, they're going to sue them. They don't sue them. They don't sue the homeowner. They're going to sue their insurance company. So when they do that now, that 350,000, and they will, and don't think people and family, they will take you to court. They will do it. I was so shocked when I heard that, when I found that out. But it's real. This is the world we live in. So that difference between the 350,000 and the $1 million is what the umbrella does. It covers that difference. That's what you get by umbrella insurance. And I'm using that as an example. But I sleep better at night knowing we have it. Knowing if somebody were to just walk in the door and slip and fall, we're covered. Period. Period. That gives me peace, to know that. So that's umbrella insurance. Also, um, I really, hold on. I can't see anything in the chat. Let me hold on. Let me see if I can or not. I don't want to say I can't. And hold on. Let me see the chat. I'm trying to see where it is. This is the chat. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Oh, hi, Diamond Ruby. Oh, thank you, Diamond Ruby. Thank you, or Ruby Diamond. It's nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, thank you. So I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you already have all these things, that's good. I'll be honest. One reason I teach these things is because I didn't know. That's the reason. So right now you've heard of two insurances that many of you may or may not know about: umbrella insurance and replacement costs. They're talking, yeah, on your the replacement cost is on your homeowners. The umbrella insurance is also for your homeowners. That you're covering your home in essence is what it amounts to. Like I said, replacement cost. This is years ago, cost 450 a month. No, 475 a month. It's crazy, but that's what it was. Umbrella is about, I want to say 550 a year, annually. So it's $550 annually, to know that if anybody were to slip and fall, or even if we got in a car accident, if somebody were to sue us up to $1 million, we're covered. And this is years ago. And we say this again, just in case you're just coming on. our attorney told us that if you have $1 million, usually if people can sue you and they get $1 million out of you, usually they'll leave you alone. That's what they said. They tend to. So excuse me. So they tend to leave you alone, and you don't have to worry about that. So I'm just giving you some things that I have that I've learned. But as I said before, and I say this again, I am not a lawyer. So I don't want any misconceptions about that. I do not have a law degree. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just giving you some insights of some things that have helped me and things that I didn't know. So if this will help anybody, then it was worth Did I lose you guys? We are down. Am I back? I'm back. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let me say this to each and every one. I want to thank you. Now you guys get to see the bookcase up here. Huh? I every day. I don't know if you guys can. You can't. I don't know if you can see it or not. The one that says "You are enough." I read that every single day. So you guys get to some of the things I read every day are, and I'll read these to you right before the show ends today, so you can see. Every single day, I'm surrounded by positive. One, live without limits. Two, work that crown. Those are for being a black woman. Three, let your faith be bigger than your fear. Another one, make your dreams bigger. I can't read the last part of that. Never stop dreaming. All of these things, all day. It is well with my soul. And the one with the book right here says, I am enough. And the other one up here says, everything is figure outable. I just like the way that sounds, figure outable. And the other one, it says, good morning, gorgeous, every day. And oh, this is one of my favorite too. If you can be anything, be kind. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys. Thank you. And thank you for, I don't know what's going on with the technology, but it's life. I just switch to the phone and keep on going. I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye, everybody.